Hello everyone, I'm Wave, and today I thought I would do a pretty strange idea for a video, because if you're somebody that is trying to get, non-translated visual novels, one of the first places you might look if you are trying to obtain non-translated visual novels without, through like the normal process, right, would be to look at something like DLsite, which is a place that has all kinds of different like H games, and then also just like a place that just has like all kinds of different non-translated visual novels, and is a way to go ahead and access those more easily than other websites. Now, DLsite is notorious for having a lot of extra steps because of the credit card, the great credit card debacle that has been going on with Visa and MasterCard in Japan. But semi-recently, I want to say around the start of this year, things changed and you can now actually use your credit card on the website again, unless they change that again. But it came with the caveat that they were delisting stuff like VNs that had specific tags, whether that be lolicon, and I think one or two other tags. And for most people, that probably wasn't the biggest deal, because you finally had access back to DLsite again. What I had noticed is that I had looked up some games before that had went through and saw that stuff like My Tetsu Last Run was going on sale for $4 on DLsite. Now you had to go ahead and do stuff where you'd have to go through a third party, buy points, add that to your account, and then use the points to then buy the game, and then you have to go through some extra hassle of needing to verify your game through DRM and all the other steps. So I had been okay, well, there was a big sale on DLsite, but I'll pass because it just sounds like too much of a headache. Went through and looked immediately after they added the Visa card stuff back in, and a lot of the VN, well, not a lot, but a decent amount of VNs that I was looking at were now delisted. And a little while back, I decided to take another look and then realized that some of the VNs that had made it through that first initial wave of scrubbing away were now also delisted. And I was gonna bring up an example because of one that was still up, and it's not even here anymore, which means that yeah, it's been getting worse and worse and worse as the months go by at this point, where if I type in clear, as you can see, we have the fan disc for clear, but the main actual release of clear is gone. So that was an example that I was going to show of okay, if I type in My Tetsu's not going to pull up anymore because that is a lolicon game, right? So yeah, you don't get any results. So what I figured what the concept of this video would be is to kind of try and get some sort of data, do some research, and try to get a percentage wise of going ahead and using a randomizer button through VNDB, looking at maybe, I want to say probably 50 different randomly generated visual novels that all have DLsite links, and seeing how many of those visual novels that were previously available on DLsite are now delisted from people outside of Japan. Pretty random video, but I figured this would be kind of something relatively important for people and I kind of want to do some research. So if we go here to the bottom here, we get a randomly generated visual novel. This is an English translated visual novel, A Drug That Yume Miru Kusuri, A Drug That Makes You Dream. And this is available on DLsite. If we click on the link, number one is already looking pretty bad. Overdrive game, Edelweiss, DLsite link here too. VN number 2, also delisted. So here we got Alice Soft, Eva Nickel, DLsite. That's crazy, right? This is a VN that's available on Steam, is translated, and it's not available on DLsite for some reason. There we go. Number 4, Mojibake. Let's see, is this up? Mojibake is on VNDB. So as you can see, this is an example, so it does work. So that is our first one that is still up out of 4. But yeah, that's still not really good odds. Here we go. Number 5 is Keen Ero, Loverick Golden Time. This is one that's on Steam, isn't it? I'm pretty sure this is English translated. Yeah. So this is on Steam. Let's go ahead to DLsite. Another one delisted. Alright, number 6, Chaos Head. This is also one that's on Steam, is it not? Or is the original not on Steam? Either way, number 6, DLsite for Chaos Head. Wow, that's been taken down as well. What's weird too, okay, I'm seeing this real quick. Can I actually click on this? This is my Tetsu Origin. Is this available? This is kind of weird. Is this because this is an all ages version or what? Look at that. $1.40 for all of my Tetsu last run. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, that's actually kind of interesting too. So right, we're scrolling through this and we were able to find a Lolicon game, right? My Tetsu. We have Lamento Beyond the Void. This one's up. Secret Agent Kishi Gakuen no Shinobi Narumono. It looks like this is not up. Alright, number 10, Alpha Nighthawk. Easy name. Easy name to say. Let's see, is this up? This is, okay, there we go. Goshujin Sama. Sera ni Yume Mitai na Ichi Love Gohu Shi Sate Itadaki Masuka. Alright, number 11. This is up. Wow, okay. I can't show that. So this is number 12. And it is not up. Alright. This does not look like it would be anything, you know, within the realm of Lolicon. Okay, so this is up. We have Imo Kone Todo Kitai Koi Gakoro. Is this up still? It is. Yosuga no Sora. Why do I feel like I've heard of this before? It looks like there is a fan patch for it that came out late last year. Interesting. But there you go. Pull top, BN. Ooh. Be My Summer Love in the Lost Paradise. Hypnomart, DLsite. This is up. Memory Girl, easy title. Is this up? It is. My Tetsu / Rail Romanesque. So that's actually something we wanted to check. So look at that. Wow. Regular My Tetsu is delisted. I'd assume because it has the H content. But because Rail Romanesque Origin, they're selling as a its own thing, I guess, which technically you could buy that as DLC on Steam, right? Princess Evangile. Wow, look at that. From Moonstone. They took down Clear, so I wonder if they took down this too. And it looks like they did. Killer Queen. And it is not up. Aoiro Rine. This is... okay. Ayasato Kei no Ichizoku. And this is still up. Oh wait, what is this? Is this like a... what is it? For Phoenix Wright, huh? At 9, this is available on Steam, is it not? I'm fairly certain it is. This is 9, episode 3. Sono Hanabira ni Kuchizuke o Anata o Suki na Shiawase. Otherwise known as Sano Hano 5. You, Me, and Her. Available on Jast. Available on Steam. Is it available on DLsite? No! This is what, Rants 6? Is this available on DLsite? It is. Okusama no Kaifuku Jutsu. This should be 27. There's multiple links actually. There's trial versions. Okay, yeah. So it looks like this is still up. Zombie no Afureta Sekai de Ore Dake ga Asowamanai. I am the only one who is not attacked in the world filled with zombies. This is still up. Looks like zombies are fair game for DLsite. I just saw this recently. I don't remember what this is called. I guess Ragin Gulu P. There's like an actual name for it, I'm pretty sure. Just saw somebody talking about it the other day. Is this on DLsite? It is. Oh, Atri. This is an interesting one. This is technically a lolicon game, right? Even if there's no H scenes. Let's see if it is up still. Look at that, even PC Games Super Sale up to 88% Atri on here. Does this take me to Atri? No. I can buy music for Monobeno, but I can't buy the actual game of Monobeno, huh? Interesting. So Atri, they're using Atri as an advertisement, but Atri, the game itself, has been delisted from the website. And then this is Fukai ni Namuru Ojo no Abadan. Very difficult to pronounce name. This is up. Soul Link. We're playing Pokemon now, I guess. Soul Link is not available. I've seen this. I think this is on Steam too, isn't it? Himawari. I think this is on Steam. Let's see if it's on DLsite. Sponsored link. It is. Wow, I'm surprised. Ooh, this is a big one. Nekopara Volume 4. Available on Steam. Is it available? Wow, it's still up. So Nekopara is still on DLsite. Paradise. Let's see if this is up. And it is. My Girl is the President. And it's been taken down. They took down the president. Lamination. This is one that I know 100% is on Steam. And it's still up on DLsite as well. First Graduation. Time After Time. And it's up. Desire. This looks pretty old school, huh? But this looks like it's still up, so that's pretty good. Yunohana by Poltop. And it's been taken down. Makoto Nechan no Boku Kyokiyoko. I don't even know how you'd pronounce that. This looks very spicy. So I'm not even sure if this is going to be on DLsite still. And it's not. Not a surprise. Koitate, the Fair Lady and Agent in Saint Theresia. Lady in Love and the Guardian Shield. That is a very long title. Futanari game, I guess. Apparently it's 50 minutes long. Is this up? No, it is not. World End Economica. This looks actually kind of cool. Let's see if it's up. And it is. Shingako Nali Mi Tangare. And that's been taken down. Interesting. Why would it be taken down? I honestly can't even say, right? Star Mine Girl. Or SMG Sumaga. And it's not up. Oh hey, Monmusu Quest. I know this is a interesting one that people might be interested in. Has this been taken down? No, it is not. Wow, Lolicon. You know, there's a little bit of favoritism, right? Because I'm pretty sure this would not be within the realm of like what is otherwise deemed as not accessible on DLsite anymore. And this is still up. Interesting. Air. You know, how have I seen Little Busters and Clanad? And neither of those are on DLsite, but Air is. That could be crazy if Air's not on. Oh, wow. Air is not on DLsite. Huh. I have to wonder if that's actually Key just taking it off of DLsite or if it is the other way around. Because that's kind of crazy, huh? Tana Uta. Nothing about this really looks all too crazy, huh? So let's see if it's on DLsite. No, it is not. Wow. And there we go. There's another Atri ad. I might actually go back and double check how many we're in, because I don't want to go over 50, I want to say, because we want to try and keep it like the integrity of this, right? And show that yes, we did look at 50 random VNs to see how many of them are listed or not. Like, this is something that you would think would be fair game, but I guess not. So, what did I learn from this little experiment? One is that I'm terrible at pronouncing things. And second is that it wasn't as much of a one-sided deal as you might think, but still, you know, that's pretty bad that DLsite, just from looking at some random games, over 50% would have been 50-50 split if it was just it was off by one game. But 50%, a little bit more than that, of games that are listed on DLsite have now been delisted for people outside of Japan. And I think that's pretty bad, right? You know, if only half your catalog is available to people to purchase, regardless of whatever reasons it is, just like if it is specifically about how they've been delisting things due to, like, you know, certain stresses from like certain pressure from credit card companies, or if it is like maybe the companies themselves have taken them down, you know, whatever kinds of like issues or whatever kinds of reasons for that. But like in the time since I recorded it, even went back through just to double check, see if I could pull up Atri just through like typing in the Japanese name as well, and just clicking on the link through DLsite again. They now changed the website even further to actually show this like little pop-up that says, sorry, this product isn't available in your region/country. And that is pretty bad. I think that's them like doubling down and showing that yes, tons and tons of these games are getting delisted, and there's going to be even more. I did see somewhere that, you know, because the first initial wave was like lolicon stuff along with like the two other tags that I had mentioned, but that now there was like another wave of scrubbing of DLsite where they're taking down anything that had like high school tag. And how much of visual novels include high school, right? So, you know, I think it's getting, the scope of like how much is going to get delisted is getting bigger and bigger as the months go on, to where I don't know what's going to be left on DLsite without having to go ahead and just be like every other website that you can go through to purchase untranslated visual novels, where you're going to need to get a VPN, then make like a Japanese account, and then, you know, go through all the hassle of all the other stuff, right? And then what was weird too is DLsite just has things up that are like outliers, right? There was like Monster Musume, you know, like Nekopara, right? And then like and then Maitetsu, like, okay, well, I have to wonder, well, you know, people like the publishers for Maitetsu on the Japanese front probably know, and that's why their stuff got taken down, but they had a failsafe because they had Rail Romanesque in the back and were able to push that out, no problems whatsoever. But some of these other developers ain't gonna be so lucky, and you know, yeah, it's gonna be pretty bad. But I think it is kind of important to point out the outliers, because then that means that there is a couple of VNs where they are getting cherry picked and saying, you know what, this doesn't really line up with what we have been taking down as a current, but we're gonna keep it up anyways because this is our big seller, right? So I don't know. DLsite, the more I look at it, it is getting to be a little sus. And I figured this would be an interesting topic to kind of talk about and, you know, go ahead and do some research for, because being able to find out that 52% of visual novels on DLsite are delisted as of current, and that percentage could only go up as time goes on. But yeah, I have been Wave. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.